Okay, I had too many apps on my phone, ran out of space, so I had to knock off some of my apps, delete them. So right now we're back in business. So as I was saying, there's the child safety centres are quite expensive to put up, and we need a couple of shipping containers where we fold the beds up during the day and store them in the shipping containers while the children are staying there with the parents or whoever, and we'll put their name and their photograph on each of the sleeping bags and pillowcases so that they use the same one while they're there and they're not using sleeping in someone else's. That's where you get germs. Alright, so everything will be above board, be transparent, and we've got an executive coming in from New Zealand, actually from New Zealand. He's coming down from coming in from Melbourne, Fraser Tahoe. He's going to be running the whole thing. I'm moving out. I'm resigning. I'm going up to do we've got to build 30 10-storey high buildings, 5 compact communities on a monorail system for our fans to stay in for the entire weekend to watch 6 of the music concerts, virtual reality music concerts. So that's a massive job. But at the same time, I'm going to be trashing the government. So I'm separate from the organisation that will be running all the child safety centres. And I can trash them all I like from the outside, right? And they can't touch a company because I got nothing to do with it. So now, that's how it's working, folks. And what we find in Australia, you have some of the most horrible people on the planet, right? They're cynical, they're pessimistic, they're nasty, they've got cruel mouths. And when people put the concepts on the internet, social media, they come out with some real nasty, cruel stuff, right? Well, here's a little word of warning. The Maori Triads told me, let us know who's saying what. We'll send them some cracking coke junkies on their families, right? And give them the same treatment that we're going to give to the media moguls and the editors and also the CEOs of the first company that wants to publish something negative about myself. You see, in 45 years, nothing's ever been published about me. There's nothing in the media, right? Because they know that they'll get their families kidnapped. And it includes the grandfathers right down to the children, right? Yeah, they'll be very sorry because their genetic line's going to be cut off. And I won't tell you how they're going to do that, but I'll guarantee that that's what they do, You're dealing with very, very dangerous people when you've got a big mouth on social media. And if you think you can get away with it, right? You think you can get away with it, you need second thoughts. See, because this green wall that this poster's on, that was painted by the creator of the dark web. Well, she's a friend of mine. She wrote the code for it. Right? It wasn't done by the US military, it was done by her. They're trying to claim it, but that's a load of rot. If you read what she wrote, how she created it, you'll know. Now, every IT expert that's looked at it says, nah, she created it, man. She's talking about botnets and faithful hackers and all sorts of things, She did it, and she knows all about it. And she actually showed me how to move weapons and drugs using the dark web. And it's pretty amazing. So just check out his name is Jamie Bartlett, and the title of the video is The Mysterious Dark Net Goes Mainstream. Right, it's about 12 minutes. Check it out. You'll see how the Maori Triads move. They have all the invisible and indestructible dark network criminal organisations using the dark web, using this method of moving money across borders for trafficking drugs and moving drugs, right? And where no one gets ripped off in the dark net. It's very interesting. And the Maori Triads, Maori Triads, they honour their agreements. They've never ripped anyone off, They just don't do that because that's dumb. Because by word of mouth, everyone's going to run you down. But if they say they're going to give you 6 months of free meth to take out someone with a big mouth that's running us down and to smash their way in the house, and they're cracking coke junkies, break all their bones, cut off their penis, mate, who's going to run us down? We're doing a good cause here. It's for the children. It's not about us. It's to stop these damn sex crimes. Now, who's going to want to stop us? the paedophiles, right? The paedophiles going to do all they can to stop us because the Maori triads are going to put 6 months free meth. We have 52 paedophiles living in Maylands where I live, right? They've got a copy of the police system database. They got a copy also of the court system database, and the proof of that was they sent a document to the Prime Minister, but it was delivered to the Australia's #1 anti-terror expert who trains all the SAS, and it was delivered to his house in the dark by a big Maori rapper from the Maori triads. And we got a recording of the wife screaming because he suddenly turned into the dark to pass on this threatening message to the Prime Minister and to the Minister of Police here, that Maori triads have a copy of the databases, hence this is the reason they're there, and they will kidnap the families of the politicians and the Minister of Police and the military leaders and the police commanders. They're not indestructible. If you have a listen to our Truth About 9/11 podcast, no one's indestructible. Not when you got 7 gangs coming at you with a fly-in, fly-out attack. Right? And there are no rules, man. That's how they operate. So that's why there's nothing been ever published about me. My photo's nowhere in any newspaper or on any media company. Even the Maori television haven't got the guts to come over and do an interview on me. Right? I was threatened by the Maoris at one stage. But when they found out a bit more about who I really was and who I'm connected with, they haven't come around. Right? So at the end of the day, I'm not here. I don't really give a hoot what anyone thinks. You take responsibility for your own actions. If you've got a big mouth and you think you want to run us down, right? Because you've got to be a paedophile. You've got to be a politician, a paedophile politician, someone trying to stop us. And if you think you're smart enough to do all this dodgy stuff without being caught, don't kid yourself, right? Because created the dark web. She was the one that got one of her hackers to hack the police system database, the court system database, supply all the information to the Maori triads. So she can track you, right? Her hackers can track you. Don't think you can get away because you routed your information all around the world and you got end-to-end encryption, because the Maori triads would just go and give the ISPs a little visit and say we want undo that encryption. Right? There's a way of getting you. So you take responsibility for your own actions. If you want to run us down, if you want to blast your big mouth off across social media and make a damn hero of yourself, mate, 45 years we went without nobody saying anything about us. If we went for 45 years without nobody saying anything about us or publishing anything, when we created the first gangland capital of New Zealand, and I'm the most notorious of the Maori gangsters, nothing ever been published about me. That's telling you something. If you're dumb and stupid enough to damn well put something out there negative about us, expect a retaliation. I will guarantee you will get retaliation. And it won't necessarily be the Maori triads. They just have to put the word out. And they got a lot of customers, crack and coke junkies. They just offer them 6 months. And it's like I said on the video, that Maori, our top rapper, he said, oh mate, I'll cut those railway tracks up for one shot, right, at $50. Maori triads don't have to pay him 6 months meth. He loves meth. He really loves meth. He's a dynamic rapper. But he'll do it for $50. So, you know, these sort of people coming in behind us, they don't care. But they do care about the children because they've lost their children from breakups created by the government, right? It all goes back to the government and Agenda 21. Check out Agenda 21 on YouTube. Rosa Kior, 20-minute video. She got white hair. It's called Agenda 21 Exposed. And that video, the moment any notorious gang watches it, they jump ship to our side and they come behind us, right? Just like that. And then when they watch the other videos that we have there and listen to the Truth About 9/11 podcast, that's when they are really up in arms and they'll do anything to protect us. So if you think you're smart, if you think you're a dodgy politician and you're going to get away with running us down or stopping us from having that Supreme Court gardens to put this Live Aid Child Safety Centre up, don't kid yourself. Right? Maori triads, they have a problem paying 6 months mess to send in a coalition of gangs on your family. You're not indestructible. And, you know, at the moment that even if you were and you protected yourself with the anti-terrorist squad or SAS, what you've got to remember is that when we pound this government and all departments, they can't do any business because there's so many emails coming in, so many phone calls being made, so many faxes being sent, they can't do any business until the Australian people march on Parliament and dissolve the government. Once they're out, they haven't got any protection by the SAS, and that's when the Maori Triads will get them. Right, so it doesn't matter which way you go, you're not going to win against the Maori Triads. So don't kid yourself. If our boys have been invisible for 45 years, then they are doing something that no one else is doing, right? Because the Mexicans claimed that they were the world's first invisible and indestructible dark network, and us Maoris laughed at them because we've been around 45 years. And you can learn about that on several of our videos. I've brought out the information on how the Maori Triads actually do operate, how they remain invisible and indestructible, because I have the permission to do that, right? I have the permission to do that. So, anyone else wants to do it or try doing it, make a hero of themselves, well, they're in for one big rude awakening. So that's a little warning to Maori gangsters that are going to try and claim that they were in the Foxton Boys gang when they weren't, right? And I can prove that, because I just need to ask you, what was the first drug that came to Foxton? Who brought it in, right? They can't tell it. And I just asked, well, who were the members? And I've had other Maori leaders say, oh yeah, no, we're from Foxton. And I said, well, yeah, they were in the Foxton Boys. So don't kid yourselves. So at the end of the day, if you've got a big mouth and you're a nasty person and you want to have a shot at us, think about it. What is your wife worth? What is your grandfather worth? What is your grandmother worth? What is your children worth? What is your grandchildren's worth? That is what you got to consider. Because they will pay meth addicts, crack and coke junkies, or they'll just send in a mercenary army, because remember, they finance terrorism. So if you want to be smart, if you want to have a shot at us, go for it. See what happens. Take responsibility for your own action. The karma's going to come back on you 100-fold. And you just think about it. You're not going to have a family once their bones have been broken. And, that was the genesis of the Foxton Boys, of the Maori Triads. That was the genesis. That was just the beginning. Back in those days, I saw some horrendous things. But, I didn't get involved in the cruelty to animals. I didn't get involved in these gangbangs, multiple rapes of the woman. But look, I've been fighting for the environment for a long, long time, and everybody's been losing. There are no results. They're building 1,600 new coal-fired power stations, even though 3 years ago Professor Peter Newman told me, we don't need coal anymore because lithium batteries now supply the off-peak electricity supply. Don't need coal anymore, right? And the electricity comes from off the roof into the house. You don't need all the infrastructure. Coal-fired power stations, you don't need all of them, and high-tension lines, transformers, underground power, it's all infrastructure. And then they build the infrastructure, and while they're building it, they siphon off all the money by putting in what they call phantom companies doing the actual contracts that don't actually exist. So the money disappears. This is how the governments work. They're dodgy as, they're sly as, they're cunning as, siphoning off the money off into the tax havens and stuff, using the law of the trust to protect themselves. They're sly dogs. Don't trust them. Don't trust the police. And you'll hear all about that in the Live Aid Revolution videos. Also on the Mick Jagger, notorious Mick Jagger YouTube channel. All right, so watch those. Look, chuck $10 in each. Do it today. Help the team out. We need there's a special bus up there online, and look, it's really awesome. It's just perfect for what we need, because we've got to travel around together during the day, putting everything together, putting the marquees up, interviewing people, talking to different people, organisations, coming in behind us for the children, and live streaming. We'll have a team of video producers, film producers working with us. We have the dancers, the hip-hop dancers. We have the rappers doing freestyle rap. We get into Frio, and the rappers will start freestyling in the street. Or they might be doing it at the beach or at a park or somewhere. it's going to be a lot of fun, but it costs money to run all these systems. But this bus, it's 50 grand, but man, it's beautiful. The inside is absolutely gorgeous, and it's very, very flash on the inside. So we need that bus, and that would give us a good image, and it enables our film crews to use it as an office and everything, with all the 4G Wi-Fi system in there. Very fast system, so uploading the videos to the internet, and there'll be a team in there, plus our personal assistant, our bus driver. He's got about 4 black belts, and he drives bus, but he's come in, he's also completed a graduate of our Happy Training curriculum, and he's into all the healthy nutrition food, so he'll be preparing all the nutritional drinks for us, all the juices and stuff, and feeding us during the day, and just not actually making the food, but actually buying it from. There's some really good restaurants around Perth that'll make the food for us. So it's the height of efficiency, and then we're outsourcing everything, not employing people. There'll only be 3 people employed, and everything else is outsourced to different organisations. So you can run your own home-based business, all right. But you're still working for us, and we just pay you, and then you can minimise, or as a separate contractor, and you just minimise all your taxation and everything else. So your mobile phone, just run that through your little business that you have from home. You can take a cut of all your electricity, gas, and phone, and all that. So minimise your tax, and our boys will negotiate a deal with you to work for us. You are working full time or part time, and making money from this, because it's a very lucrative industry that we're doing here. But it's as we say, it is the Live Aid Child Safety Centre that we're building. All right, so just throw in $10, do it today, help us to get up and running by the end of the weekend, and it should be all go. And look, we really appreciate your coming in behind us. You have a nice day.